It's going to be huge for the kids because, one, they've never had anything like this. And anybody that runs an organization understands that having everything in one place makes it so much nicer. When you say we're having a meeting, they're not wondering where. They know where it's going to be. And it's brand new, so they're going to love it. Well, I think it makes us more organized logistically. You're not walking all over campus trying to find places to meet. Obviously, we haven't had our players in here yet, so that's really going to be beneficial. But even as coaches, we now have an office, we have a place to meet, so it really helps logistically with the organization. Well, we've heard positive comments from those that have seen it prior to us being moved off campus, and then even coaches that I've talked to that have seen it on the film. So I think everything's been very positive, but like you said, we really haven't seen the real benefits yet because we haven't been a lot in it. Well, they count right away. You know, usually you have one or two non-division games. You want to win them, but you know if you lose them, it doesn't affect your chance to win your conference side. So, you know, it's going to be counting right away, and I think a great challenge is going to be all the backups have to be ready to play because you never know who could come down with, you know, the virus, and all of a sudden you have 4 starters out. Now you have to have multiple guys ready, even in the coaching staff. You know, we've already started to talk about if one of our coaches has to be sidelined for a game or two. You know, if I happen to have to be sidelined, someone else has got to fill the role of the head coach, and you know, it could be coordinator. So there's a lot of thinking and preparing that has to happen. I'm excited. I mean, of all years for this to happen, going into this season, I really felt really good about our football team. So that hasn't changed. Obviously, there's going to be some obstacles to work through and challenges, but I think we've got a really good nucleus coming back. We've lost a couple kids to 4-year schools this summer. We lost John Cartwright and Josh Ratcliffe, which we're excited for them. That's why they come here to move on. So even though we're going to miss them, we're happy for their opportunities at Southern Miss and Memphis. But I feel good about the season. We're going to have to buy in like never before, and that's a lot of buy-in off the field. The young men are going to have to grow up and really ask themselves some questions like, how important is it for us to win as a team? How is it important is this season to me? You know, on a Thursday or Friday night, if I get the chance and I go home, what choices am I going to make that could affect my teammates that we have 4 or 5 guys have to miss a game? What do I have to take in consideration of my family? You know, am I better off staying here the whole time, or am I better off running back and forth? Those are mature decisions that, you know, many of these kids have never thought through. So we've got to help them think those things through, and then, you know, hopefully we'll have enough guys to go out there and play. Well, I think everyone knows J.D. Martin. I mean, he's probably the top back in the country, and he's got multiple offers around the country, and he's coming back. We've got our quarterbacks coming back, both Holman and Deontay. We've got, you know, 3 of our offensive linemen coming back from last year. We have, you know, a couple of receivers that we feel pretty good about. On defense, we have a nice nucleus of guys coming back, both on linebacker position and the D-line. Like I said, we've lost 2, but we feel like we filled those voids with some nice players. We have the best punter in the country by far, place kicker. So we have some key positions where we're really strong, and hopefully we can get them to lead as well. Well, I mean, I think that, you know, anytime you have a punter like Robins, and I think he'll improve as a kicker. He did okay, but I think he even has more ahead of him there. You know, he's a threat in the game at any time to help with field position. And then I think we've recruited enough skilled players that'll, you know, be able to be exciting on those special teams. Yeah, the coaches always rotate here at the community college level, so that's a challenge. But we've hired a new defensive line coach in Blaine Miller. I've known Blaine for many years through my youngest son. Blaine's been at Georgia, has been at Colorado, UAB, and so we're excited that he can be an addition to our defense. We also added a new safeties coach in Deontay Evans. Deontay has a background at Mississippi State and knew some of the coaches on our staff. We're excited about his addition. And then we added a running backs coach in Khalil Pope, a young guy out of Hattiesburg, Mississippi, that we're excited to have on the staff as well. So we have 3 new coaches, and you know, we're excited when we lose coaches because that means they're moving on to hopefully full-time jobs where they can make a salary as well as you know, get an opportunity to get the foot in the door. Yeah, Dennis is going on 7 and Mickey's going on 8 years, so you know, Mickey and I have been together a long time, so we know each other, and Dennis has been here, like I said, for 7 years. So both of those know what I want, and I think they help bring along the younger. Well, now that I've been here 8 years, I feel I can say, I have an idea of what it's like. I've never coached in Kansas. I haven't coached in California. But I'd have a hard time believing that it's better than what's in Mississippi. I think we've got a great league. It's very competitive. I think it's great for the young men of the state of Mississippi, and then you get a few out-of-staters on your team. But everyone in the country recruits the state of Mississippi football, so that tells you that it's good football. I'm encouraged. We have a new commissioner. I think Commissioner Martin has done a very good job in his, I guess, about a year now that he's been here, and it's been an awkward year for him. So I'm excited about him being in charge of our league. I think our presidents are excited about the league. So I think our league's going to continue to grow to its fullest potential, and I'm looking forward to that. Well, I think we're educators. Parents are educators, teachers are educators, coaches are educators. So I always feel like, personally, if I'm staying at the same place year after year after year, there's something wrong with that. We all grow in many ways, not just physically. We grow emotionally, we grow mentally. So to me, winning here at East Central is not just the scoreboard. That's an important piece. We want to do that. But it's helping these young men grow to where their life can affect others. They can, hopefully be a great husband and a great father. And I think our mission, which, I said we've had it for 8 years here and everywhere I've ever coached as a head coach, is going to be tested more than ever this year, because there are so many things that our young people are being confronted with, and us as older people, that we really get to put it into practice. Oh, it's the forefront of everything we do. It's the first thing I communicate to any parent or athlete in recruiting, because again, I want to make sure we get the right fit, both players and coaches. The worst thing I can do as a head coach is not be thorough in telling the players, the parents, the coaches I hire who we really are. That's unfair to them. If they come in here and have questions, I've not done my job. But the mission and the vision of the program allows them to know that, this is how this program is going to be run. It's never going to change. It's the same for everybody. So what it should do is should give you some stability if it's what you want to be a part of. If it's not what you want to be a part of, it would be miserable to be here, because as I tell them, I'm old enough now, I'm not going to change. But I think that it brings great stability. Obviously, everyone's different levels. I think some probably buy in earlier than others. Others might even say, what's it mean? But when you know that it's working is when players call back years later, like 20 years later, 15 years later, or you might see that they're implementing it into their practice wherever they are job-wise. It's not my mission. It's the mission of Christ as whose it is. So, it works for everybody if you want to do it. And, all I can do is tell them, and hopefully they'll use it. I would say we're not ready, but that doesn't surprise me. It doesn't concern me. I've had an advantage in my life, I think, by working in NFL Europe. I know there's other fellow head coaches in this league that are concerned about numbers and, how long we'll have to practice. And as I've said to them, I've worked in NFL Europe where we had a 35-man roster. We went 2 weeks ahead of time before we went over to Europe, and then we played. And this was with pro kids, but still it was the same type of quick turnaround. So are we ready? No. I'm sure we'll have many that are really out of shape, but we'll be ready by October 1 if we get that opportunity. Well, I think that, again, we should be pretty experienced, so I expect our offense to have a lot of maturity and play with great confidence. I think we'll be able to give people lots of problems with the type of skill level we have. So, I'd be shocked if our offense doesn't have confidence going into the season. Yeah, well, I think Holman will take a big step. I thought had an okay year as a freshman, which is typical for a freshman quarterback, but I expect him to make a big jump. Again, JD, I think, can be dynamic. It's a matter of him staying healthy, but I don't see him getting worse. I obviously see him getting better. And then, we need a couple of the skill receivers to have a good year. Offensive line, we got some good guys there, but I think we'll have a good offense. I'm really encouraged. Well, again, that's always the case, and we're always going to be playing uphill. I've said that from day one, both to our team, to our coaches. I say it to our administration. I say it to the coaches we play against. But I know this, there's not a team in the league that wants to play us. And, it doesn't bother me that we play uphill. We've knocked on the door the last 2 years. We ended up 4-5, but I think the teams know that we were very close to being much better than that. So we'll be in every game. We'll be prepared. We'll play hard. And if that's what we do and we end up on the losing side, you can't ask the kids for anything more. Again, that's where our mission is much bigger than just that scoreboard. But I feel very good about this year.
I'm looking forward to get to work, see all the coaches face to face, not over the Zoom meeting. See all the guys in the dorm, and then get to work on the football. I chose East Central because of the relationship I felt I had already had with Coach Karcher and some of the coaches here, and just the culture that he's built here. Warrior Hall's is an amazing building. It's really exciting to have this as our new facility. Yeah, I think the idea of having everything in the same place, and the meeting rooms are awesome. It's going to make everything more organized and specific to what we do. I think in the future it kind of puts East Central at an even playing field with the rest of the JUCOs as far as recruiting goes, with facilities, because nice facilities attract players, and then the guys that are already here, it's just going to give us motivation to do better during the season. I think Coach Karcher is a lot similar to my high school coach in that his views of it's not all about just getting the win. It's more of a person development, and also a former player that came here, went to my high school, and all he had was good things to say about Coach Karcher. His his idea of developing the whole person makes a lot of sense when you think about it, because football is just a tool that he uses and his coaches use to prepare us as young men and turn us into men to send out into the real world. Being on time, being organized, cleaning things up, holding each other accountable, that kind of thing is just going to prepare us for what's ahead of our lives other than football. Yeah, I try to stay outside a lot in the heat, and I get used to being in the air conditioning because the football field's not air conditioned, unfortunately. I do have access to a field, so I get to go down there and throw some with some of my high school friends, or if somebody will come over from college, and I'm able to run. I've got a weight room set up in the backyard, which has been helpful. The Zoom meetings in the mornings, we have a team meeting or offense and defensive meeting in the mornings, and that's been helpful just to see people's faces and hear their voices when we're talking about football, which is what we're here for. And then we have a group message with the team or something like that. Everybody talks about what they've been doing, which is good to keep up with the guys. Well, last year I feel like it was a good season just to kind of get my feet wet for college ball. Coming from 1A high school was a lot different. I feel like I've become trying to become more of a student of the game from learning from Coach Karcher that there's more to football than just the pound and ground. There are a lot of mental aspects of the game, and over the break trying to address what I did wrong last season and what as a team and as an offense we need to work on to be successful this upcoming season. I think we're going to have a great team coming back offensively, defensively, special teams. I'm really excited to get back and get to work. I think we're going to have a great team. The best way that I do it personally is, I'll get alone and either just turn on a film tape of last season's game with a notebook and just watch that. And as Coach Karcher says, watch and feel. So I watch and feel how I played, notice the mistakes I made, what I did good, that kind of thing. That's how I stay prepared mentally. Yeah, definitely. JUCO of Mississippi is the SEC of JUCO of the nation, which excites me because I get to play against the best, and I think it excites our team, especially coming up this season, that we're going to get to compete against the best and measure up against them. I think it will have a big effect, especially the first game, if that is the case, that we don't have any fans, because that's what you run out on the field and there's people screaming and yelling, the band's playing, and I mean nobody knows what that would be like, a game without fans. So I really don't know what to expect because that's never happened. So I don't know. Let's see. They missed one game last season because my sister was in a homecoming for our high school. And as soon as the homecoming was over, they ran home, turned on the live stream, which is great that we do that. They had a bunch of people over at the house. So it'll definitely affect them. My mom's a big football person. My dad loves to watch it too. Mom's more of the enthusiast over it. She gets pumped up just about as much as I do about a game. It'll have an effect not getting to see them and them not getting to see me play, I'm sure.